Say, utufuna na ngene ndaba enzame media wena. Ngiya uthi. Angizwa? Ngiya uthi kuzokwenza.
Jonathan ukahle. Hawu.
This is a scene from episode 10 of the hit South African Netflix original TV show The Polygamist. And safe to say, this episode right here was my favorite. A young Joyce about to square up to S's abusive boyfriend. Believe it or not, this moment right here sets a chain of events which will end up to the modern day where this guy Joyce Gomora became the Polygamist. So, as of recording this video, it's currently 8:51 AM on the 2nd of July 2026. That's around 3 weeks ever since the whole show premiered on Netflix. And I did this on purpose. I wanted to wait and see if it was all hype. I wanted to see if my judgment when watching it and 3 weeks later after watching it was the same. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that recency bias I had while I was watching it and right now are two different things. I wanted to know if it was hype or actual quality. Is this show good as social media tells me? Or was everyone just excited to be a part of it? Let's put a pin on this, we'll come back to it later. Adapted from the titular novel of the same name written by Sue Nyathi, The Polygamist follows our protagonist Joyce Gomora, a very popular online influencer married to a multi-millionaire as she navigates her life around balancing a serial cheating husband driven by extreme lust, a troublesome and collapsing 20-year marriage, confronting the idea of polygamy with her two other co-wives Matipa and Essie, trying to maintain a stable family with her troublesome kids, all of this while trying to portray a perfect marriage to her humongous virtual audience while balancing her empire, while still battling inner demons, confronting inner demons, and finally turning to the dark side while navigating her new character arc. Now, let's get one thing straight. I am not doing a recap. If you want a detailed recap, there are so many channels who do it better than me, and honestly, trying to condense a 22 episode show into a 3-minute recap seems like a mega injustice. I'll recommend this specific video right here from this channel. They did a pretty good job at it, so.
Alright, let's do this. Stay hydrated.
A character arc can be described as how a character grows or changes through a story. Storytelling, we have 3 character arcs: positive, negative, and flat. One thing I love about this story was the idea that the author Sue Nyathi manages to actually portray sensible character arcs for every single person appearing on screen. I don't know how I can emphasize how this is not an easy feat to pull off. Alright, let me give you my favorite 3. Joyce Gomora's arc is undoubtedly the most fleshed out, not just because she is the protagonist, but you can actually see how a kind-hearted family woman descends into the darkest depths of revenge and despair. When we first see Joy, she is a desperate woman living in denial.
Oh.
Angazi ukuthi lapho mahemhem kuluma ngawo yazi mina because sina mina masikaze sijabule ngalendlela le umshado wethu awukazi uqine ngalendlela.
You can see her lying in a brand ambassador job of how strong a marriage is. She goes as far as organizing a 20-year anniversary of it and invites everyone to witness it just to put up this facade of a happy couple despite Joyce doing everything possible to prevent it from happening, including serving her divorce papers.
Joyce ufuna divorce.
She's in denial that a younger, more attractive woman than her has managed to ruin her 20-year marriage and steal her husband from her.
Alela naki. Mesihlephu sentombazane. Umuzi wami.
Sarah. Anginike nje umzuzwana nje ngikhuluma nalo.
Okay, Stanza.
She is pissed. By the way, let me just put it out there. In my opinion, I think Gugu Diamede was kinda hotter than Kwame Tetwa. Nothing against her, she's also hot and good looking, but it's kinda weird. The story wants me to believe that Matipa is hotter than Joyce when the actual dynamics portrayed differently. For heaven's sake, they are literally 4 years apart. Come on. But I digress. The saddest part about this denial is you can actually see it in her eyes. Episode 2 was one of my favorite because it gives an actual context to how she went from being an icon to women and feminists to being a disgusting low-life simp.
What's that now?
You can tell that Joyce Gomora is clutching at straws and will do anything to save her marriage, including abandoning all rationale by burning the house while both of them are still inside. A few episodes later, we then see Joyce manage to reel back Joyce with a voodoo pussy after that 20th anniversary, and for some weird reason, it seems that her desperation to save her marriage pays off. The hate, disgust, and jealousy she once had for Matipa turns into gloating. She even gets her fired, but one thing doesn't change. She will still abandon all logic, all history, all the fuck-ups that Johnasi has done, and choose to see the present moment of what Johnasi is and not what he has been. This is despite her daughter warning her on every occasion. When Johnasi finally officially moves back in with his family, all of a sudden Joyce has a guard up once again. Every single outburst, every single red flag, she is alert. She is always watching, always waiting for him to slip up, even contemplates tying up her tube so she doesn't get pregnant again. Because last time Johnasi ended up cheating on her when she was pregnant. After Johnasi betrays her by getting pregnant with Matipa, unsurprisingly, she goes back to her desperate ways once again.
What's on? Joyce! Joyce! Joyce!
Come on, bro, what the fuck is this? She illegally buys a gun with the purpose of killing him, which fails, then suggests a polygamy marriage. Over time, she warms up to Matipa and they mutually raise kids together. When they realize Johnasi had another wife on top of being a pedo, on top of giving them gonorrhea, the once loving Joyce orchestrates evil plans to get a lick back, from poisoning his food to hiring a hooker to give him HIV. Joyce Gomora starts as a genuinely likable and sympathetic character. However, the constant betrayals and disappointments from everyone around her drives her to a dark place, which in turn leads to the death of the deuteragonist Johnasi because he refused to take his medications. Sue Nyathi perfectly portrays this descent to madness. Kinda funny because generally storytellers and authors tend to shy away from this because this is the reality of humanity. It's easy to spot but very hard to confront. Think of Yagami like from Death Note, a guy who started out with an aim to stop crime and then goes on a killing spree. Or Uchiha Obito from Naruto Shippuden, an optimistic kid who wants to protect his teammates and save the village, but the circumstances around him, from losing his closest friend to almost dying, being manipulated by Uchiha Madara, leads him to a killing spree and begins the 4th grade shinobi war. A negative character arc is real. So here's the thing. If there is a negative, there is also a positive. No character arc best portrays this like Sarah. When we start off the show, Sarah is one needy, rebellious, attention-seeking evil teenager, always wanting to get acknowledged by her father, treating her mother and uncle like trash, and occasionally betrays his stepsister Pume by seducing his boyfriend and giving him a blowjob in the middle of a party, stealing her phone, throwing shade at her every opportunity she gets. But you see, here's the thing. As much as she's being a bitch to everyone, she was justified to do this by every means necessary. Well, for the most part. Sarah is carrying the burden of having to keep a secret that she is legitimately Jonas's daughter and is owed everything his first family have, but she compromises because that's what her parents ask her to do in order to keep up the charade. Put yourself in her shoes. You get to see the first family in this glorious mansion and get to travel all over the world and have expensive lifestyle while you are stuck in the outskirts of Soweto, a ghetto, despite knowing that you rightfully deserve all of it.
Hayi kwamnandi ukuba wena Mpume. Abanye besu bayafisa ukusebenza nobaba babo nje kodwa ke inhlahla zabantu ayifani.
Yini manje benza ukuthi usho njalo sisi? I'm sure baba ngajabula kabi ukuthi usebenze nathi enkampanini.
Awusho lutho kumina.
Not to mention that her father clearly has a favorite family and only remembers her when it's convenient. Also, Sarah's dream, on top of having a coming-of-age ceremony at 21, is to have a seat at her father's company. She wants it out of merit, but cannot because Mpume is favored to have all that. My favorite, and in my opinion the best episode in this show, was episode 13. The cat was out of the bag. Everyone knew that Essie was wife number 2, and the whole family was Jonas's and not Magesh's. Sarah has this idea and assumption that finally, I don't have to hide anymore. Finally, my father will embrace me. Finally, I can have my coming-of-age party. Finally, I can have a lunch date with him. But none of that happens. We slowly see a series of disappointing scenarios where Jonasi ignores her calls, turns her up on their father-daughter bonding date, and instead of showing up for the date, he was busy receiving some sloppy toppy from this stupid bitch right over here. Side note, nothing against this actor Luyanda Zwane, but here's the thing, I'm not making this up. I used to date someone who looks exactly like her. I know it looks like I'm making this up, but it's just uncanny seeing her on screen. I had to cringe every time I'm seeing her, but that's besides the point. Hey, shout out to Luyanda Zwane, you did fine, nothing against you once again, but the final nail on the coffin was when she discovers the photo that they took early in the story. The one that she couldn't post, the one that she framed and put it on the desk, was quickly replaced with the one of Matipa's kids. And this is what she has to say.
Hela mele office. Lalela, when una yonke into amantombazana amaningi angafisa ukuba nayo. Nakhula. The world does not revolve around you. Kumele uyeke lelo iphatha ngayo la mina. Yesizwana? Stop it.
Wow. But you see, here's the funniest part. It could have gone both ways. She could have gone the Joyce way and be all evil and orchestrate some mega evil shit, but nope. She took the high road and accepts his father for what he is and never looks back. She locks in, takes a serious part in her career. She even tries to amend things with Mpume to no success, but at least she's trying. Sarah at the beginning of the show and Sarah at the end of the show are two different people, and I think she became a better human being overall too. But doing a positive character arc, a redemption arc, is usually kind of cliche in storytelling, but the few that have stood out for me was Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender, a guy hell-bent on killing the Avatar, but ended up being his best friend.
Hello, Zuko here.
Or Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Both Sarah and Pume are Africa's Thorfinn. Every time I saw them, I remember what Zuko underwent and how he ended up being good. And in as much as she wasn't actually a main character with this very much limited screen time, I liked her story the most. And then we have a flat character arc. Contrary to popular assumption, a flat character arc doesn't mean it's automatically boring. It should not be boring, and in The Polygamist, it was not. Matipa was the very definition of a flat character. The flat character arc is different from every other arc because it isn't measured by a character's personal changes, but rather by the change around them. Flat characters don't change their morals or ideals to match the changing circumstances around them, and they tend to be stereotyped, one-dimensional characters. At the beginning of the story, we first see her. She's a homewrecker, a conniving gold digger Jezebel. Hell, even the receptionist specifically says that she is not welcome there because of this one thing.
You want to know what my main job as Mr. Gomora's PA actually is?
Okay.
It's to stop women like you from disturbing him.
Matipa's whole shtick is to do as little work as possible and to fuck and marry her way into success. She ruins Joyce and Jonas's marriage. Demeans Joyce because of her age. Then when she realized she wasn't the shit when Joyce's voodoo pussy one backs Jonasi, she then does what she does best. Look for the next available wealthy man to sleep with and eventually marry into money. Ends up cheating on that guy with Jonasi, and this time she entraps him with kids and even goes ahead and blows it to her only friend.
Fuck uJonasi motherfucking Gomora. Here's the things I'm going to get myself a man 10 times more powerful than him. That is my game.
She then almost ruins Joyce's marriage for the second time, but this time it backfires on her because of the polygamy thing. And then like Joyce, who stuck around after being it with Jonasi and worked hard on her own to raise the kids with her own money, Matipa abandons her kids with Joyce, abandons her marriage, abandons the friendship with Joyce that she was starting to build, and does what she does best. Goes to look for the nearest rich guy because she's too much of a lazy piece of shit to get a job, which she unsurprisingly does because she shows up at the funeral of Jonasi with this hot rich guy once again. As a matter of fact, the one time she tries to get a job on her own without opening her legs backfired on her completely.
Official ownership?
To be honest, I hadn't really studied the act in depth.
I don't know, man, I just didn't like this fucking bitch. She freaking makes me sick. Everything she does was so self-centered to the point you just get bored of seeing her on screen. I gotta give it to Cornelia Mtewa. She did it. She brought her A game into making me hate her character so badly. That was literally zero redeeming thing about her. And that is okay. Maybe not all people deserve to be liked. Maybe some people are just naturally that way. Some people are good, some people are bad. Some people start off as being good and easily turn bad. And some people are trying their best to be good. She was just naturally bad. I don't know who the actual casting director for this show was, but holy shit, they did it. They assembled the right people for the right job, top to bottom. Okay, let me suck some Google Give me this cock once again. Let's get one thing straight. She was the best actor in this show. I do not think at any point that anyone else in Africa could play her. She is Joyce. I see her, I see Joyce. And everything about her just, it's so epic. It's a masterpiece. How she acts. There's this thing she does with her facial expressions. You know what? Just look at this. I'm looking at her IMDb and she's mostly been in South Africa productions. It kinda sucks that she's getting a big break at 34. Don't get me wrong, this is young, but it's not Hollywood young. I really hope to see more of Gugu Gemede in major blockbusters moving forward, because she can act.
Off a dog's plate, sakuthatha wena Soweto. Sakhipha udoti wakho ungeyilutho. Ngabe namhlanje usahleli khona Soweto udoti kuba sikudakulanga wethu umuntu mina.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
The least the showrunners can do is submit her for an Emmy, BET, Golden Globe, and all that shit. Even though she may not win, at least she gets nominated. That's all that matters. My other favorite one was, of course, the main villain of the show, Dumum Charlie. Okay, guys, you gotta forgive me. I really don't know how to pronounce these names. This nigga was just pure fucking evil. I have never seen a more unlikable and a major dickhead character in African cinema than this guy. He has this form of character acting called the Stanislavski system. It's a form of acting technique popularized by Russian theater and practitioner Konstantin Stanislavski. It revolutionized acting by moving away from the exaggerated artificial performances towards deep, naturalistic, and believable human behavior. The two people that I can think of right off my head without looking it up is Sir Anthony Hopkins, specifically in this 2020 movie called The Father, which, by the way, he won an Oscar for.
I want my mommy. I want my mommy.
You should watch it. It's a really good film. And for the female side, nobody does it better than this Korean actress called Kim Hee-ja, specifically in this 2009 movie called Mother, directed by the great Bong Joon-ho. By no means is Joyce Gomora anywhere close to the actor's Dumo, but how he manages to portray this evil, lustful, despicable, selfish dickhead almost flawlessly is amazing. Again, Stanislavski's method is more of a nuance and character driven. You get lost in the character. You do whatever the character will do. Look at how Dumo eye moves during these romantic scenes. I believe it. I believe that this is one lustful piece of garbage who just sticks his cock inside anything. It's how he laughs. How he gives these fake apologies. This guy is just so good. You believe that Joyce Gomora is going through shit. You buy it. You feel sorry for her. You almost root for her when she starts doing some evil shit like poisoning her husband and giving him HIV. These two actors made me feel something. The dynamic, their chemistry, their acting sold the plot for me. I don't know where the hell Google Gamer and Dumo learned how to do this, but I'm gonna give it to them. These people brought the A game, and you can say anything you want about the plot, but not the acting. These are good actors. Last but not least, I have to give a shout out to the people who helped create the world we see. The world of the Polygamist makes sense. It's believable. The high-class society is portrayed by over-the-top set design, vibrant colors, high saturation, and the location and setting sells it. I believe that Joyce Gomora is a multi-millionaire. I believe that his big company is listed on the stock exchange. I mean, look at this freaking town style. Look at these freaking office spaces. Look at these corridors. You guys should see the dumpster place I work at. It looks like one of those Kenya Kwanza queues where they give these stupid buck-teeth people lines so that they can vote for this dictator. Also from the props that he uses, like his car, his resort homes, his costume, both when he was rich and when he was broke. In contrast, look at Jonas's family with Essie. They live on the outskirts of a slum. Yes, this is a decent house. It's not a slum by any means, but it's not the same as this mansion. I don't even know if any renovations has happened on this house ever since Joyce bought it for her back in 20 years ago or something. It's just the same place. During the flashback scenes, you can tell that there was a progression in wealth. How he started off poor to how he became wealthy, the world within the story sells it. So yeah, shout out to the production and set designers and the hair, costume and makeup guys for all these episodes. You guys did your best. And unfortunately, that's where my praise ends. So I realized something. This video was about to be 40 minutes long, and I've never done something that long. And I don't know if my audience trusts me enough to watch anything over 15 minutes, because mostly I make 15-minute videos and people watch just like 8 minutes of that 15-minute video. So I don't think posting a 40-minute video is a smart thing to do. So I'm going to split this whole polygamy series into two. This video that you're watching currently right now is the positive part, and I will just talk about the positives. Trust me, there is a negative part and it's a lot. It's like 20 minutes long. If I posted all that into one video, it will be 40 minutes. And it will probably flop. I don't know if this video is even going to get any views to begin with. So if I get like 40 or 50,000 views, then I'll post a part 2. And it's ready. It's done. It's not something I'm working on. It's already finished. It took me a while, a whole week to edit. So yeah, give me 50,000 views and I'll post the part 2. So thanks for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video.